Hello, hello. Welcome to my third match of season 48 here against SamE. Yeah, I guess it's all here. Well, it's certainly all here. A little bit. Not sure how do you do it at the start though. Obviously, your end goal is, King's Court draw replace, whatever your draw is, not clear, but I mean, well, okay. There's a lot of things you can do for draw here. 3 things, 4 things. King's Court Cape form, of course, is drawn out of itself, but the opening is not clear to me at all. Apothecary is actually pretty nice for like King's Court, getting to King's Court. You still don't really want to keep the coppers around. 5-2 itself would be perfectly good. Supplies replace or something like that. Or just supplies doctor. This is sort of tough opening. Sam doesn't have doctor. Pretty lame, if you ask me, but I guess the doctor misses entirely. Was that even possible? I guess it was possible. Or they chose not to play it? Well, I mean, this shuffle didn't have it in. I guess it wasn't until this shuffle it was even in the deck. So there are a bunch of cards that it could still be down in. Okay, yeah. I'm just dumb. SamE had enough for a forum. I had enough for a King's Court. It would have been wild if I had drawn King's Court with the horse, though. I may get it with the Apothecary here, which is also wild. This will be a replace for me. I think, I mean, it could just be another King's Court, I suppose. I didn't trash anything. The payload is still kind of crappy here. I mean, replaces it basically, and it's not crazy good. I mean, of course, we need like a gainer. I guess you can sort of use the supplies in that fashion. Okay. We could stop here. There's not a real advantage of stopping. I mean, we may draw the King's Court dead, but okay. I may also just be happy with this number of apothecaries, right? I don't need a bunch of apothecaries. Not that they're bad, but doesn't even play the replace. Well, I mean, they wanted to buy a King's Court, of course. I guess they didn't try. They saw their doctor. Okay. They didn't trash anything. So I can draw both, or I can just leave King's Court on top. It isn't so bad. I mean, what is the, I guess the question is like, what is the tripled? We draw both and then we triple the King's Court. We can put, what do we put on top that's super nice? We could certainly gain another supplies. We could stick a goat herd on top. And like a lab. While still buying King's Court. It's not too bad. The other thing is just probably just sticking lab on top while trashing an estate. Or maybe taking arena points. I don't know that the arena points matter a whole lot. Gonna do it like this. The goat herd eventually will just be massive draw, and I would expect Sam to pick one up eventually. Like they'll just be, because you have to get your payload through replace stuff pretty much. So that'll just be kind of huge draw. There is something to be said for getting to $10 so that you can buy like forum plus something. But how exactly you want to do that, I'm not totally sure. It's weird that you get a supply set. Like, surely, it's weird to me. I would just be thinking about goat herd more than that, because you have to expect I'm just trashing a ton. Like, it's not even clear if you gain labs. Well, it shouldn't have even been clear for me to top take a lab here compared to a goat herd, to be perfectly honest. Like, I probably should have top decked goat herd. Like, this play was, you know, extremely likely. So anyway, I've got 3 king's courts, so the question is whether I need to do, trying to think what my draw looks like. An overdraw, I guess, specifically. Okay. Because, like, I mean, I guess the other issue with getting goat herd over 5 is that you do need to increase the value of the cards in your deck to get your payload to have province threat. So you do need to go up some amount to be sure, or certainly you need to go up some. So that's definitely part of it. I can get an IGG. I don't know. I don't know whether they draw decks still. They still aren't really adding draw. They're adding cantrips, but I'm trying to think if I can get to, well, I definitely can get to 10. Just whether it's good. Even 9 is not crazy, like going forum plus something. The other thing, I guess I can go for a gold. If I had a way to leap from, well, How much money do I have? I guess I can decide now. There's a, so what's the other card? Six. I'm just trying to figure out if I want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm gonna go with don't trash. This isn't super clear to me. But it seems not horrible. I wonder if IgG even makes sense. I mean, Sam probably would be able to top deck a goat, and this don't have the King's Courts. If they just trash it away, it's not so compelling, but they still have their doctor. No. I definitely wanted 2 5s. Like, that's not a question to me. The King's Courts are still where the power is at here. So the idea is to get the 2 5s and then probably remodel both of them. I wouldn't mind having other supplies, having 3 horses on top, but yeah, they really needed that King's Court. I mean, the goat herd is at least a lab now. We can play that. I don't really want to play the horse. I'd rather remodel it. I do think here, I don't know. Again, it's hard. You got to get the 5s to be able to have to move up the remodeling stair. The goat herd's going to be so much draw. I'm going to trash 6 cards this turn, at least. So I still have 4 who's what's it's to do. I kind of like getting a province here. I could have gone like IGG into IGG some number of times. I guess I can still do that here. Or like estate, or like copper into silver or something via estate. I mean, I don't want to open up a 3 pile, but that seems pretty far out of the reach right now. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. $13 kind of would have been nice to get to. I mean, I guess I could just give more curses even. No, they're gonna get a goat herd and then probably trash them all, I would guess. Though there's still some effort involved in doing that. I guess I can think about pileouts next time. I don't know that I had one here, but I guess I could have done this order differently as well. To have a king's court on top. Can also double province and just threaten blowing up provinces next time, I guess. Not super sure about all of this. I think as long as Sam doesn't win right now, I'm okay. And they didn't king, so I think I'm probably okay. I mean, I guess they can always hope for a dud, but like, obviously now I can empty the curses. Yeah, maybe there was a win last time with the, I don't know. Yeah, so like obviously when I hit 7, that was super good for me. And then from there it just sort of ran. I didn't even hit 7. I love getting Kanye'd. I didn't want to click that out. I guess I hit that 7 without even the no, I surely I didn't. Maybe I did without even apothecary. I didn't find the potion, but I think I played an apothecary to get it. I don't know. Anyway, another gutter board. Probably some amount of trashing to be done, though not nearly as much as the last one. But you can't do anything here unless there's just some real trick here I'm missing. There are like cards you can buy, I guess. So, I mean, sort of feels like try to get like the vampire, even like, what are you gaining if you get a vampire? I don't know how easy or long it takes to get golden. Or even if, I mean, you don't have to necessarily be purely golden. You can just be like sort of golden. I mean, gold, silver, bounty hunter in Dubai. With whatever card is in province forever, but I guess that's not true of vampire. Though, again, I don't know what you're gaining with your vampires. Second, bounty hunter feels maybe stupid. I mean, I guess we can fight over flag bearers and then exile the extra ones and all that stuff, but here's also worth considering. Well, this is just gonna be better. The SamE got a duplicate. Yeah, it's super unclear to me what the vampire, not that it's nothing, it might do something. I guess it can gain lackeys or caches. I don't know. I mean, the attack is not nothing. I don't know. I feel pretty dubious about the vampire. Not gonna lie. Sam follows doesn't actually make me feel a whole lot better about it, but apparently I decided I wanted gold too. I don't. Beats me. My big chance to get my copper back, then I could have 5 again here. It doesn't seem worth it. Envious, pretty bad. I'm gonna say, since Sam has none of those cards. Not the greatest hex. Now you just buy a silver. That's just sort of like rubbing it in. Pretty rude, IMO. Oh, I would sort of like to buy a Piazza. Guess I'll just wait for my gold to do it. I could desperation and buy a thingy. I didn't get to my other lackeys, which is a little unfortunate. But I forgot I had this. Well, that's exciting. This feels just like so much just sort of messing around. It doesn't feel particularly good. Raider. Now we're playing Dominion. That's pretty exciting. I'm gonna put both of the coppers aside. What am I doing here? Even play the dungeon? Probably not, right? Like, what's that do? Raider? That's crazy. Alright, I know what to do. We'll just, alright, we're doing it. We gain the lackeys. I mean, well, we did gain lackeys, but gain a cash. Maybe we should bounty hunter the bounty hunter. Still feel like it would be good to just province at this point. We'll see, but it feels like it might be okay. it's only fair that if Sam plays the vampire that I get like diluted instead of, since I gave them envious when it didn't matter, I think I should be able to get diluted when it doesn't matter so much. That seems fair to me. Desperation. I mean, that was pretty fine. Do I just take lackeys or do I get another dungeon? Maybe another dungeon. Though the lackeys are pretty good too. I could get lackeys and discard the other lackeys, and then the bounty hunters could, or the bounty hunter can. That's probably overall friendly locus to me, I would guess. I can also desperation a fair bit. Just to kind of rush down this. They didn't have any cards in play that. That's funny. I didn't even notice they played the Raider until I saw this line in the log. Yeah, I can lackeys, or not lackeys, I can desperation when I don't quite hit 8 as well. Which is probably pretty good. They still have a bunch of coppers, or have they trashed more copper? No, because I trashed 2. I mean, I had 8 coppers because I gained 1, but they've trashed 2 coppers and exiled 1, so they still have 4 coppers in their deck. Probably the lackeys. What are we looking at now? Which would we rather? The bat's a little rare. I think we go ahead and province here with a. I guess we keep the bat. We might be able to trash something. They have 2 raiders. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. So the bat is a little rare, which is to say that if I do province first, then no, I don't know that it's necessarily correct, but we're all about, I mean, if we province every turn, I think we're okay. They lost their vampire, so they can do a double duchy at some point, but it's not super good. What do I discard here? The thing is, if we find bounty hunter, then we'd really like to have a province. They didn't play their raider last time. But they're pretty likely to play one this time. Which will lose me a dungeon, I suppose. But I'm still in pretty good shape. Guess we use the villager and try and get the money, yeah. Didn't have to reveal all of that, but it's okay. This was win in hand, so. I don't know. I don't really feel good about what we did there, but probably it was okay-ish. I certainly didn't feel like I was like necessarily doing something way better than him, so maybe I just had friendlier draws. I wasn't paying super close attention to when stuff was missing shuffles for Sam. Probably he just had a bunch of misses because I got pretty far ahead there. We do have Wisp Druid, which is always appealing, and in combination with Bridge Troll can be a little even more exciting than usual, if that can even be conceived of. And then obviously just maybe you don't ever actually get a Druid because you're just too busy getting the actually good cards, of which there are a few. I mean, this would be a big Bridge Troll Wharf thing. Of course, you'll have 10 billion buys, so presumably we'll just 3-pile. Seems almost impossible to empty provinces here. If it's at all kind of close. Well, maybe that's not the way to describe it, but. So do you go with like the silver hideout? Or do you go for... I mean, you really would like to hit 5. You can do silver shanty as well and get the hideout maybe next time. Okay, this is alright actually. This is pretty reasonable to go hideout wharf here. Obviously there was like a chance of double 5 there, which would have been quite nice, but... So in the end, the shuffle works out so that Sam basically had... Well, also they... Okay. I was going to say Sam has 1 fewer copper, which was to his advantage, though he hadn't drawn one of the cards, but then he hit Shantytown, no actions, into wharf into play hideout. So now Sam is pretty solidly ahead. But I'm still in it for sure. Just mainly coupled onto the half turn of first play or whatever. Anyway, we both had good shuffles for our openings. Like, I can't complain about my shuffles. Sam's were also quite good, so the my good shuffles haven't necessarily opened up a big lead or anything. But neither have his, because mine have been pretty good too. Sam didn't play wharf here though, that's really unfortunate, and they just bought another wharf. And I'm thinking about just doing Bridge Troll actually. So I gotta think though. My Shantytown drew this turn, which is getting increasingly unlikely. You can try to get 2 and then do the wharf or do the Bridge Troll the next turn. Or you can be a little bit greedy. The wharf miss is quite bad. Now 3 on a... They still didn't hit 5? This is weird, frankly. Did you get a skulk? You might get a skulk. This is frankly quite odd because now you don't get a wharf the next turn. Obviously you'll draw a deck. If you buy skulk, I don't know that that gets you to 10, so it's not... So I'm gonna attack. They can't know that for sure when they're planning this. Not great draws for Sam on this kind of last couple turns. Pretty bad. I do sort of wonder if you wait here though, like you don't have anything. you kind of have to just go for it. I don't find wharf. Means they're already B2 in the next. So I could get another hideout here. Something to consider. Miserable. Right, so Sam doesn't hit 10 because of the bridge troll, which is cool. Though obviously you can make 2 good buys with 9 as well. Goes hideout wharf. Sam eschews. I don't know if that's really exactly how you say that word. The bridge trolls for now. All about the wharves. Living that wharf lifestyle. I've been haunted. Oh no. I hate being haunted. I was probably early on the bridge troll. I could have waited a turn and just wharfed it up there. Wharfed it up, as they say. I'm not totally clear on the estate to curse stuff this turn. Find the bridge troll. Hooray. Well, that's not that good. I needed to find the silver. Or, you know, actually, I mean, there was a dream draw, of course, where I get, you know, both of those things. Or I just draw the shantytown, then draw into the bridge troll, and then I have bridge troll, but I guess I'll take a skulk. Don't know. Gold seems pretty good. Would have been excellent to be able to buy a wharf, but now I'm envious. Envious is gonna hurt. I'm gonna feel the envious. I'm going to be envious of all the money my cards aren't going to make. That doesn't make any sense. Get all those pearl divers. You can train them, maybe. That would be fun, to train pearl divers. Wouldn't that be fun? I guess could have probably, I don't know. Diluted though. And even maybe even nicer. I'm going to draw the curse just for the joy of it. It was pretty joyous. Oh, weird. So okay. Like if I add a terminal, I can't actually play it. Well, I can't play them all in the skulk. I guess I don't have to play the skulk. But it is a bit weird because just imagine if I had $3 more. Or even $1 more. So, I mean, we can try to just play all the wharves in the bridge troll. We can try this. Not really sure about the lowering of the pearl divers. I know Sam's just gonna train something. I don't think Sam's going to play and also the curses are also, of course, disappearing. So I got another curse. Curses. I guess Sam could buy a province. I don't really expect them to, but I guess they could. You kind of expected training, and I guess you just do it on pearl divers. It's not a huge thing, but I mean, you could do province. I don't know. Is there a path where they have like a guaranteed pile out if they do all the estates? Something like that. I guess it's hard to be guaranteed you can empty the wharves. That would be the issue, is that you wouldn't, well, you just straight up wouldn't be able to empty the wharves for sure. Maybe if you added some money. Though then you wouldn't. I think you would just not be guaranteed to draw. Though you could try something aggressive on the estates here. The question would be like, well, are you opening up some other pile out for me? But it's worth looking at for sure. You could, if you get too many of them, you could just draw into a nightmare thing. But certainly there's some kinds of threat Sam could start putting up here. Probably gonna take some counting on his part. Sam just buys a bunch of money. Which seems reasonable. This is a pain. I think I lose this skulk, but the pearl diver could just be kind of bad. So Sam bought a bunch of money. Probably pretty good. What do I have? Oh, I'm miserable. I was like, I don't have 3 curses. I'm miserable. Well, okay. All the estates are going. Okay. I guess I can think about estate stuff as well. So it's probably not terribly good. So Sam has just the same number of buys, right? If they play everything, they didn't miss out on any buys. So eight buys, I guess. But Sam can probably just like double province. Well, for sure if they draw. So double prom. What if I get into the position of? I mean, I could do double bridge troll. The problem is the. Is there a line? It feels like there might be a line, but I don't really know what it would be. I have 5 buys, so now I'm up to 6. I don't know. Feels kind of bad. I take 4 estates. I can't trash them. I'm like imagining I have like infinite hideouts too, which just I don't. It turns out I just don't. There's something to be said for making the duchies extremely cheap. What are the other druid things? Well, the druid is kind of appealing as well. There's some threat there. As far as getting buys. Unfortunately, like double province twice in a row is probably a little better than that. This is like playing into getting some draw of Shantytown for sure, which is not guaranteed. The druid has like a totally safe fallback, which is pretty much equivalent to a I bought 2 bridge trolls. Maybe one of those should have been a. This is like too much stop. It's like I don't have that much draw, even with the trashing. I don't know about this. What am I doing? I'm trying to up buys a little bit. Bad Omens is probably not a huge deal. Yes, like Sam probably. Like if Sam just double provinces and then next turn double provinces again, that's probably pretty good. You can trash Skulk. I don't know. I don't know that I'll have emptying threat. Maybe I should have taken one estate. I don't know if that changes the dynamic, actually. I honestly don't know. That even helps me. The other issue is that, like, Sam's money is still good at buying duchies. Like, so even if I take that angle, Sam can compete there fine. No, I'm not gonna be as good at buying provinces. Probably. This is actually a very promising opening hand for me. Just because I'm gonna be able to probably play the terminals out of hand to get the Shantytown activation. Or this is as good a shot I have of doing that. As good a shot as I'm gonna have of doing that. One province, and then a lot of pearl divers. Interesting. I assume Sam counted, and that this, I can't do anything nice with this. Like, that's my assumption. But I don't know. It feels very. I don't know. It feels very odd. How much money did I have last time? It feels very scary. Like, it feels like I should just play, of course, but this is unfortunate. The Shantytown here. Maybe I just don't have enough money, so it's not an issue. Not really sure. 8. I can buy 8 of these things. And 7, I can afford. This is a win, right? Four duchies wins, doesn't it? I score 9 points. I win by a point. I don't know why they bought all the pearl divers. Yeah, they miscounted. There's a sequence there where I get the druid by. Anyway. What am I doing? Okay. So I guess this is hop stuff. Well, you didn't have to. You didn't need that many terminals. You didn't need like that much hideout. I don't know, you can do hideout develop, or you can do different stuff, I suppose. I'll just do hideout develop. It seems reasonable. I don't need to sit here and think about it forever. Ideally, we draw copper here, so we can buy pawn in top deck, I guess, secret cave. But buy nothing is also fine. I guess we could take the... I'm not actually sure as far as activation likelihood what the comparison here is between like estate to curse, buy pawn versus trash copper. We probably can get the uniques later anyway, so it's probably better to do the thinning. The open secret cave, which I'm fine with, I suppose, but not super in love with. I really do prefer, I think develop looks pretty good here. Can also go for could have gone for seller, would not have been at all crazy. I mean, tossing 3 here to a seller would give you even a pretty decent shot of activation right now. Guess we do coin. There's not really a whole bunch of like the buys aren't. I mean, 6 on buy would be okay. You could do advisor seller. I mean, you don't need 6, so I guess you might as well do buy. You can potentially have some annoying advice. Like if you throw out seller, they'll have to kind of auto discard it, which may open up. You know, the pawn could draw a hideout or a secret cave, and then we have activation. So, we didn't get it, but there was a pretty decent shot of it, actually. I mean, there were either 2, right? It was like 2 of 5. Because either one of them would have worked. This is a little sad because you don't want to... You're not like desperate to top deck a silver. Though it's reasonable get. They probably have their journeyman, so they're gonna activate here. Which is huge. I had, yeah, like I said, I had 2 of 5 on the pawn draw to activate, but that's pretty cute. Then you can pursue your wishes. I can still activate here, potentially. I don't. The next one will, like, pretty much for sure activate. I guess I'm a little thinner than Sam. But not like wildly thinner. Well, maybe decently. I think I kind of want to do more advisor stuff than the hideout. Like I think I probably stay at one hideout. So not so heavy on the journeyman. So they just do 1 wish for a horn. So the gains here didn't go crazy. I assume this will be hop advisor. I guess you could do hop double pawn. That seems pretty unlikely. I think I still have a shot. Okay. Okay, this already activates, so I would like to play hideout. I guess there's a fear of missing some stuff. There's probably like a chance that this misses. I think it was like next to 0. We didn't find the hideout, fortunately, but this is very lucky. This is kind of funny. It's like, do you do the, like maybe they still have a copper, so it's not like denying curse means that much. It's like giving them horn. I mean, they're probably drawing to the horn regardless. I guess we'll do the horn. Like, just there are some hands where you want to not give them the junk, but they probably have sufficient junk that it just doesn't matter. Most likely, if I had to guess. So maybe this way they don't get the draw all the way around or something. I don't know. Do I have enough advisors to just do like 5 provinces this turn? I don't think I'd have enough money. I don't think I would have enough money. I should be able to threaten 5 provinces next turn. And I don't know that Sam will. I guess maybe. Yeah, they can, because they can get 3 hops here. So they can threaten 7. It's just the draw may be a little iffy for Sam. So don't know. Okay. So I don't think Sam has $8, so they can do 4 provinces next turn, but that's it. Seller here is whatever. I mean, they didn't discard with Secret Cave, so in fact they got that time. So oh no, they give us the seller. Okay. Well, I'll probably just blow up this whole hand, right? I mean, maybe keep one of the cantrips. get to the other advisor. I don't know how many. There are 2 advisors, right? And then a bunch of wishes. Interesting. What do I do? I mean, the pawn I probably am just playing for. Guess I can play it for buy. Not that it matters a whole lot. Okay. So we would like to get 5 horns, I guess. I mean, I would like to have the threat of the... I don't think it... I mean, it's not going to open up a pile out for Sam. I guess I don't have to do 5 horns to have... I just need a lot of draw to do 5 provinces. I guess the question is whether 5 provinces is like good enough. Probably is, right? I mean, the obelisk, how much is obelisk? 2 points? I guess there's like some obelisk stuff you can do as far as catching up. And they're not, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily be super able to buy a province by my 6th province. I mean, also those 6 provinces would be pretty good. I don't think this opens up pile outs. Oh. We'll do this, hope we draw. I mean, clearly, here's another. I mean, I'm very unlikely to draw from this opening hand. I wonder if I deny copper again. How many coppers have been trashed? 6, 7, 8. So there's something to be said for making the hideouts awkward. I don't know that it's correct. It might be more or less impossible to actually make them all that awkward. I needed like 3 advisors in an opening hand though to draw deck, or I guess having the hideout so that the journeyman has some threat, so that if a journeyman is revealed, they don't discard it. I think I probably was wrong to go for the 5th horn. I should have just settled for triple advisor horn and then be in a position to do the 5 provinces, which I think was likely to be enough points, at least on the time frame it would take Sam to get in a position to do a bunch of. I mean, the pawns are very cheap points though, so it's not super clear to me. I also have develop, which on a 3 gives me 2 of the pile lowering things. So I do have a little bit of scariness. If my hand were a little better, right? I do have a little bit of scary looking stuff that direction. And in theory, it could chain, though it's pretty unlikely to. I mean, the pawn could chain. Because I could get 5 hops plus the developed as 2 to 7 already, and then a couple buys. Or one, I would just need pawn to do buy one time. Could do an empty of stuff. And if Sam lowers anything, then it gets even easier. But I'm just gonna dud. Or sort of dud. There's like a miracle where, like, I don't know, we've revealed 2 advisors, copper, get to play another advisor. You know, there's some good looking thing that Sam doesn't want to give me, and then like we find the seller, you know, and we can move around. Like, Sam's gonna deny the seller, but there's some world where I can trip into the seller off a pawn or something like that. But you need like a pretty big hand before that happens anyway. Maybe the better play was just to lower last time and have threat on pawn advisor pile out. Not even get quite so many horns. I don't know. You need the horns to up the gain, so I'm not sure you get much threat just buying pawns. Though I'm gonna have a decent amount of money, so action buy kind of does it. I don't know, Sam take another seller. I don't think it's so crazy, but maybe not needed. Doesn't have, I mean, the hideout journeyman combos only increase hand size the same amount as the advisor, but obviously with way better card selection. They do take another seller. So Sam can do 6 provinces now. Okay, this is a good start. for a reveal. As far as that goes, this is pretty good too. Okay, wow, okay. I don't think that's correct. I think that's like clearly 100% wrong, to be honest, but I can understand why you would do that, though I think it is 100% not correct. Anyway, I gotta think this through. I don't know if I have another cantrip besides the hideout, though. If they just leave the hideout, that's also fine, I think. Maybe that leaves me short on action or card uniques. What are my easy uniques? Yeah. Of course. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I don't even need to play hideout. I can play one terminal. So I don't have to keep the pawn. The question here is whether we cantrip the pawn before we decide about the seller, or whether we just, I should say whether we keep the pawn. I think we just toss everything now. There's some world where we just don't see any of the advisors now, and that's pretty bad. Do I need money from the pawn to hit 8? Not necessarily. I guess the other question is whether it's easier to do the provinces or to think about the pile out part. Whatever I decided there. Which I don't really remember what I decided there. That's very good. That's the best seller we could have gotten. I mean, not technically, but it's very, very close to the best seller we could have gotten. We're just not gonna, we should have played the pawn to get the unique down, because now we're just not gonna have the uniques, unfortunately. That was the thing I probably didn't think through correctly. This discard isn't super important because I can't play the things. I mean, they can know what these 3 cards are. Yeah. I should have played the pawn just to have the threat of the, or better threat of the uniques. 1, 2, 3. Because then, well, in any case, I still would have been stuffed by this particular ordering. We needed on the reshuffle to see like, we needed to see like a pawn and a hideout together. Something like that. Or something, I guess if we stack, what we'd like to have seen was like advisor, hideout, journeyman together so that they have to give us more draw. But anyway, this is, this obviously isn't quite good enough. So the question is, do we, I mean, they're going to kick off at least a little bit. Will they get to the provinces? I don't know. Yeah, it was a mistake to play to discard the pawn for sure. Now I can only get 6. I guess I could do a bunch of duchies. That does nothing for me. We can play for some sort of stopping, but that's also not super likely. And then we open up just pileouts for Sam. Sam has 5 horns, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, unfortunately, then we're going to open up the pawn pileout. The pawn advisor. Even if they give me silver, then I'm still short. 9, I have 5, 6. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't need a pawn. I mean, I guess I could have. I got excited there when I got the seller, but it was still really hard for it to work out. Not sure there's anything I can do here. I couldn't draw on, though we've got pawn hideout, like, I don't know what the other card is. So we probably just stop. Like we could get a gold, we could develop something. I guess we could develop, I guess we could develop a secret cave on top. I'll do that. I don't think it will matter. 1, 2. Yeah. So now we just do like some cartographers. I could have also gotten a cartographer over an advisor. It was just too greedy. I should have gone for. I should have gone for 7. Or not for the 6 provinces. That was the stupid thing I did. You know, amongst whatever other stupid things I did, which were most likely numerous. I don't think I can lower these. I mean, most likely Sam just it's not even, well, yeah. I mean, I guess there's something to be said. I mean, most likely Sam just is just done. Not super clear the cartographers do anything. I mean, what's the world? I guess the question is there a world where Sam doesn't have 6 provinces but does have the necessary resources to pile this stuff? If I lower... I guess we can get... Yeah, those also... Can get a duchy, but what does that do? Surely I'm playing for Sam not being able to bring to bear at least one part of their resources. Some sense. Got a bug on my microphone. So like probably... This wasn't even like an especially good... I probably should have pursued. This wasn't like an especially good thing to keep on top. I thought, oh, hideout pawn, but they're not super great. To be honest. Maybe neither of us will ever draw. I should have got more stuff. Like if he draws enough to pile out, then it would have been just over anyway. They probably have one of the sellers, so they'd probably be okay. This is a bit funny, right? Can't deny both sellers. It would have been funny if one of them had bottom decked and then this. They might have another cantrip, I'm not sure. Is there any... Is there any world where having the 2 hops is worse than having... Or having 2 sellers is worse than having a hop? Like, do they play it all out and they'll still have 8? You gotta like hope they just don't find something, right? When they discard, hope they don't find hideout or whatever it is, or all the hops. I don't even know. This is confusing to me. I'm not sure that made any sense, but... Well, I guess they do 5 provinces. I don't know, maybe they didn't get 5 provinces. Maybe they can only do 4. I'm gonna not draw again because I didn't pursue like an idiot, because I didn't build enough like an idiot. I should have done 2 cartographers and pursued or whatever. Yeah, I should have done that, and that was just dumb. I can still get lucky, but it was still dumb. I mean, he's not just quick clicking province, so he doesn't have all 5 horns, which I think you would do if you had 5 horns. Yeah, or I should have lowered Hideout Journeyman some amount. My issue was a little bit points in that, but I guess them getting whatever 7 gains was when it would have taken 9 and 2 buys. Yeah, that was that. The worlds where if I had lowered these and the pile out was possible for Sam, then they would have already had enough to take 6 provinces. So like I clearly should have lowered more. Probably Hideout Journeyman or just more as another cartographer. Lots of things, lots of options. But this is a bit weird because I guess as long as you don't see all the journeymen, you've got Hideout Journeyman on top. You might have to trash something nice, I guess. You're not super worried about that. Okay, this is very lucky. Let me think. Man, we know what we're putting on top. You just go for a draw, right? And leave the horns at the bottom. And if we have the, if we get through the deck, we get through the deck. These alone aren't enough to do anything, so. There is something to be said for, I guess, not revealing I have Hideout yet. But that's known. Sam already knows that. I mean, Sam can know that. Whether Sam does know that, I guess, isn't 100%. Okay, this was the best reveal ever. So it's, similar problem as the last time. This time the pawn play isn't quite as important due to the this time the pawn play isn't really important at all. Okay. So what is likely to be, and probably just do the pawn stuff. Well, we can easily, I guess we should trigger. I guess we trigger, right? We want to have all the good stuff and then we can just discard whatever amount. I'm thinking actually that the pawn line is a little easier now. We don't need buy, right? Because I lowered one. So we have 5 horns and then silver into pawn advisor. That's 7. And then we can just buy an advisor. Right? So we don't need the pawn money. Or we don't need, there's a copper in there. We don't need the pawn buy. So we can do this. And then we can discard these. What do we draw? Do we... Yeah. Because we don't actually have the way to get we didn't even need the copper because this is going to be only need $2. Okay. The reveal with Seller and Journeyman together was so lucky. Also top decking the cartographer was super lucky. Okay. This is, guess, invent a royal carriage. I mean, I think you certainly play with other cards here, but mostly you're just doing invent a royal carriage. I guess you could try pure rush. Like you can say, I'm not gonna get ambassador. I'm gonna buy I'm gonna open artisan inventor, and then I'm just gonna, try to get royal carriages. I don't know if that's like as fast as doing some amount of ambassadoring. Oh yeah, I can't even open artisan. I'm not very good at counting. Kind of like in general. I guess I could buy a royal carriage. Like, how am I gonna hit 6? I mean, get rid of estates and then play the cursed gold, but I could just wait. Like, what do I buy now that's really nice? Nothing. They're kind of dumb. This probably is not right, but what can you do? It's kind of the worst. It's kind of a lot worse of an opening. Well, especially if you're... Okay, now I'm just gonna buy these things, I guess. And hope what exactly? Not clear on. Very bad ambassador. Puka, yeah. I do wonder a bit if this you just kind of. I mean, that all looks fine. Well, okay. Race to the royal carriages. I can buy another royal carriage now. It's just like, what is the point? And then what do I gain? A remodel? That's terrible. This is terrible. This makes no sense. I'm just gonna click stuff. This is fully resignable. Unless, yeah, they get 2 estates here. Yeah, we'll just. I'll play a little bit longer, but. Top deck a card. Okay. Pretty good. Yeah, I didn't even. My ambassador missed and I opened ambassador nothing. That was like a. I mean, I'm owed this one. I think the first 4 games have been much better for me than for Sam. So that seems like pretty fair. I think. I'll trust Sam to finish that one out. I think they can close it out from that position. Here we have big mess. Pretty big mess, no trashing. Out of bank, mastermind, all this stuff. Storeroom's probably pretty good. Four 3 looks a little nicer than the 3-4. I think you can go Monument Ghost Town and be pretty happy. The other, I mean, 2-5. I mean, if you could just open Mountain Bank, you would too. So Salmon just buying the Ghost Town in hopes that they get to 5-year, which is, of course, totally possible. I'll take a silver. I might summon Storeroom. Well, you can't. Oh, plays master plan. Okay, yeah. That's not so bad. I was thinking they were, masterminding a Mountain Bank, but they're not. They're not going to do that, and in fact, they don't have anything to hit. They can give themselves a shot at it though, so that's cool for them. It's not super clear to me that the masterminds are ever really good here. Probably they're okay, but it's a little bit odd. The Storm there is not going to be that good of a shot at hitting Mountebank, frankly. This can either be like Summon Advisor or I mean, we can just do a Ghost Town. Summon Advisor triggers a reshuffle. So we have the Storm, so... Well, that or the Storm's just in the... I'm still not super in love with the Masterminds. I can do a Summoned Storm again. This is a huge shuffle, but huge shuffle with a bunch of crud in it. That would help a little bit. I don't know if it'll help enough, but it would help a little bit. You can also just buy a province. The Mastermind stuff still continues to me to feel like too much. I mean, maybe Sam will build something eventually. But I'm not super convinced it'll get there. This will let me trigger a shuffle at least, which I think is pretty good. I mean, the Ghost Towns miss it, but I don't care that much about that. I mean, I guess if you Mastermind a Storm, you're pretty happy. They may have another Mastermind in hand now. Mastermind. It's okay. Okay. It's just not that, nothing's that good. Now, next turn I'm probably getting triple Mountebanked. So I can either go for Summon of an Advisor or... because I could have summoned the Storm. I mean, they're gonna find the Mountebank for sure. I'm surprised they didn't... Oh, that was a Summon Storm. I see. That makes sense. It's a bit annoying. This was quite the advisor reveal for Sam. still don't fully believe you can build, but it may be good enough. I think I still have a mounted bank down in here. I guess there is a mastermind down in here too. I'm not sure exactly what kind of shuffle they just triggered. This is pretty okay. Man, he gets to block that. That's not right. I just want to give at least a fourth curse. There is still another storm in here. Another mountain bank. I mean, they probably have storms, so. They probably get to play Mastermind again and then. They'll play Mountain Bank. They may just have 8. Really don't have a win or anything, but. Maybe Sam will be exceptionally greedy and go double SamE Advisor. Yeah, I think you just buy province, that seems pretty like the thing to do to me. I just want to give the curse. That's all I want. There you go. That's all I wanted. Anything else I don't especially care about. I just wanted to give the curse out. This, like, there's no way this is right, but I'm just gonna do points. I basically have to hit like, I don't know, something crazy. Now I need to, yeah, we'll probably just take coppers if we get hit by mountebanks. Going over another storm. I wish I'd hit summon, but I didn't, so. Doesn't matter. Hopefully they don't have a storm. They probably have mastermind. This is a little hard. Okay. What do I have? There's a, I don't know. And I can just go. How much would Sam would just need a duchy? I mean, I can go double estate, or I can go. I mean, there's so many things where I'm just like hoping Sam has nothing. But my next hand is so likely to be garbage. I don't have, like, I don't have the storms in there. There might be some advisors, but they're not going to draw anything good. It's almost like you just take this double estate and then try to run the estates over the course of the next couple turns. It's that, or you think you can get the advisors, right? I mean, the nice thing about lowering the estates is that they may, them hitting province is still pretty hard. I don't know if cycling is to my advantage or disadvantage. I did have, there's a mountebank down in there. When did I buy the province? But there's not a silver and all that. This stuff is out. So it's it's a little awkward. Like, there's some world where Sam only has enough for an estate, but I have $4 in my next hand. It's just not a super likely world. Well, this worked out in my favor, I guess, as far as it could. Sam would need to miss Dutchy. I don't know if Sam has a storeroom is the problem. Who has... Sam has 3 storerooms when they shuffle. This was relatively clean. So Sam has storms left. Of course, I don't even have 2. I mean, that's not surprising. I think the last card is Mountain Bank, but I'm not 100% sure. No, so I didn't even have a Mountain Bank in there. I guess it does mean that me cycling was definitely good. They're probably gonna have, well, they definitely have 8 here. So that's gonna put it back into, I guess if they find another storm, they maybe can have 9 and just win. If they find another storeroom. They can go estate, duchy, and win. Province itself is probably sufficient. We're not doing anything here. Even a single estate. I mean, I'm not building up anything, so there's not like a hand I can really draw that does anything exciting. So they're good. For for lack of a better word, they're fine. They can buy the estate and then they can win. Or I'll give them enough stuff that they can it'd be a little funny if they didn't get to estate, but yeah, I didn't even deny estate, so giving them the masterminds, of course, helped them. Though, like, there wasn't a world where I was gonna make it out of here. There was some world, and you can't say there's no world, but it was always gonna be tough. Oh, come on, just click it. All right, I'm getting out of here. All right, there was game. All right, so happy to make it out of 4. Definitely could have. There was a chance on that last one, not the 5th game, but this last one there was some shot. But anyway, 4 is still good. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Catch y'all later.